Love requires focus. And if you really want to be successful in anything or overcome something, you really have to be intentional and focused. Make conscious decisions that would contribute to you reaching where you want to reach. I mean, it may sound straightforward, but oftentimes it's seriously overlooked. Some people just believe that if they pray hard enough and if they have enough faith, it will all come true. And if you believe in the Most High and that you do things like that, who am I to tell you no? But at the same time, you really have to work for what you want. You have to work towards what you want. You can't just be out here doing a bunch of different things. Working hard, yes, but none of it really will contribute to the person that you're trying to be, to the life you're trying to build. You get me? You're just there doing a bunch of different stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. So yeah, love is a focus, and you can love unconditionally, but you can't love unconsciously. Yeah, so you can love unconditionally, but you can't love unconsciously. I was watching a Chronixx interview, a couple months back, and he said that you can love unconditionally, but you can't love unconsciously. Very, very, very important. You have to really be intentional. Make conscious decisions that will manifest and nurture the life that you want. Yeah, so love is a focus. Focus on what you really want to do. You're gonna fail. There's gonna be times where you think you have it all figured out, and truth is, you have nothing figured out. You don't know what you're doing. You have nothing figured out. It's gonna be, life has its ups and downs, and it's very important that you stick through. Really, really think about what you're gonna do. Write down the things you want to do. Take action. Plan. Get me? Write down and plan the things you want to do. Actually take action. No more procrastinating, because love is a focus. If you really love something and you really want it to get done, you really want to show your appreciation to someone, it doesn't have to be a career or some dream that you have. It can be the person that you're in a relationship with. You have to really put the time aside and say, okay, I'm going to take her on a date this time. I'm going to cook him food this time. Whoever, male or female, whoever is watching, you have to plan. You have to plan. You have to think about others. You have to think about what you really want. What you're going to do. What exactly you're going to do. You don't just say, okay, I want to lose weight. I'm going to go to the gym. No. You're going to go to the gym at X time. I'm going to do this workout. I'm going to eat this food. You get me? You can't just be here being a bagamout. Laba laba. A bunch of talking and no action. That's the lesson for today. That's the thought for today. Just being intentional. For the things you love. For the things that you want to have. You want change in your community. You want change in your country. You have to get up and do something about it. You want to change your life. You have to get up and do something about it. Really writing down the things that you want to do. I've put that into practice so much more. Because, for instance, what is 2,538 times 422? I cannot do that in my head. You get me? I'd have to write it down and work it out. And a lot of people are trying to solve all their problems in their head, and it will drive you mad. Isn't me? You get me? Write things down. Use your phone. Write them down. When you're overwhelmed, you can check them back later. Or at least you wrote it down, so you'll check it back. You won't forget about it, and it won't creep up on you. Life is short, and life will fly right past you. And sometimes you question yourself, what's your purpose? You question your whole existence. And sometimes the answer is right in front of us. And I think the answer is different for everybody. Sometimes I believe the answer, for me, the answer was right in front of me, and I was just blinded by the thoughts of others. For others, I don't know when you'll figure out your purpose, if you'll figure out your purpose, but while figuring out our true purpose, we'll have our desires, we'll have our dreams, and it's very important that you follow through with them. You owe it to yourself to follow through with them. I believe everyone has faced their own level of struggle and adversity in this life, and the joy you'll receive from following through the things that you desire, the positive things that you desire. I'll say, the things that you truly desire. I don't think anything can, nothing can replace that. Especially if you've actually fulfilled your purpose in this life. Sometimes I feel like I have it all figured out, and then I don't. So I don't know. Does anybody know their purpose in life? What's your purpose in life? If you know, let me know. How can I figure out mine? I think maybe life is just full of trial and errors, and the purpose is really to just evolve. Right now I'm at the conclusion that life, is full of life is full of ups and downs. Life is full of trial and error, and your purpose is really to just evolve and contribute to society positively. Reproduce if you can, and hand down your knowledge and your wisdom. And I won't put reproducing on anybody. Like, let's make that clear. Like, you don't have to if you don't. If you're not gonna, I don't know. That's a very touchy topic. Either way, it's to really evolve and hand down information, and just contribute to mankind on a whole. I really don't know what the big picture is. I don't think nobody knows. Like, why is this cycle of life happening? I think only the Most High knows. Only God knows. Only our Creator knows, and that's okay. But yeah, be intentional. Love ruthlessly. Love deeply. Don't ever stop loving. I wish you all the best. I love you. And yeah, see you soon.